you know, we go over VA benefits, veterans benefits, and that's,
I was just amazed all the veterans benefits, and there seems to be a bigger push through the Veterans Administration to make sure anybody who saw active duty knows that they qualify. Right. And again, there's income qualifiers inside of there, but it's worth the phone call.
There's income, there's asset qualifiers, and then there's the medical part. But so I've helped so many people access this benefit, and it's a huge benefit.
Veterans
to help keep someone in their home or keep them in an assisted living placement. It is a huge benefit. So, you know, if we can't help you, we can send you where you need to go. So that's the important part.
And we may not actually provide that particular thing, but we know the next step.
Exactly.
And can help you get there to the next step.
Exactly. And we have connections with all of our providers in our area to know where, you know, they can access those types of services. And on top of that, we know other services that they might be able to benefit from, like legal aid services, you know, for those
or vision impaired, if there's a vision problem or a hearing
so trying
problem.
to send them wherever they can get their needs met. So VA is just one of the many things that we're looking for. And then we look at our different programs that we offer at Senior Resources. And we offer quite a few different services. We have the My Choice Waiver Program. We are what's called a waiver agent. And so we can offer that program. And that is one that's Medicaid funded program. So that's again, one where we have to look at the eligibility.
Important to look at the eligibility.
But we also have other programs at Senior Resources that don't require Medicaid eligibility, just to help people, again, find resources that are available and help them to coordinate those resources. So if they need that in-home visit, they need somebody to come out, we are able to do that to meet those needs.
And help them kind of think through, because often there's solutions that maybe are right there.
And they hadn't thought of it.
Just hadn't thought
There was a lady I was speaking to one day, and we were going over all of that, and we were talking about the cost of the care and all of that, and she wasn't too thrilled about the expense. And then she had mentioned that she goes to Bible study, and I said, well, have you mentioned to the other ladies at Bible study, because possibly they have, you know, a grandchild or something that might be willing to come for a few hours here and there, you know. So it's, again, it's just troubleshooting and finding that. And she said, well, I never thought about asking.
Exactly. So,
well, that's a good place to start, you know.
So sometimes it's almost informal.
It is.
We help people think more of an informal network too.
Oh, absolutely. Whatever we can do to help to band-aid or bandage the situation or help find resources, that's what we're there to do. We're trying to find it.
That's what President John F. Kennedy wanted when he envisioned this all these years ago.
Well, and there's so much to know. There really is. I mean, from burials.
It's overwhelming.
It is. It is. And people tell me all the time, oh my gosh, I'm swimming in information overload. So, you know, I guess I often take it for granted how much information that there really is out there to gain. So I think it's just nice if people can call in and then they can access a person that has all of this knowledge.
And access a person.
Right.
Hopefully you don't get too many phone prompts, because, you know, hopefully, you know, you get to a person, like they're going to call, if you do go into a voicemail, they're going to get back to you as soon as possible. We know how frustrating it is to get into a phone queue or to be put on hold or have to push umpteen buttons. And again, I'm going to have you give that phone number again.
Absolutely. Again, it's 231-733-3585. So.
And just to follow up on that a little bit, I want to, because I know some of you are in your lazy boy recliner and you don't have a pencil or paper by you. So I make this pitch often on the show, Kim. But I like to remind people that we have a phone service where you just dial 211. Now when you dial that, you're going to get an operator that's on 24/7. We have a special relationship with 211 because they're housed at Tanglewood Park. They will often simply do a warm transfer into our program, or they will make sure that you get the phone numbers and get connected. But I think it's a nice number to remember. If all else fails, wait a minute, that Senior Connection show said, dial 211.
Absolutely.
And so again, if you can't remember, but I'm going to have Kim one more time because I want to ask you about something else that you're involved with.
Absolutely.
Let's give the number for long-term care options counseling at Senior Resources one more time.
Again, it's 231-733-3585.
So thank you, Kim. Now I'm going to turn directions a little bit because when we started and talked about you've been at Senior Resources, you know, a few years now.
Yeah.
I know that just last year you got trained as a instructor in a class that we call Creating Confident Caregivers. So I'd like you to explain a little bit about the class, and I know you're starting to teach in February 22nd.
February 22nd is our next 6-week session, and Creating Confident Caregivers is a wonderful, wonderful class. It's really geared towards caregivers of someone with dementia. That person with dementia has to be in the community. They cannot be in a placement.
So not like in a nursing home.
Right.
It's for people who are really walking the walk
every day
of caring
for them. And the great part about the program is it really helps people, one, connect with other people who are in their same boat.
Yeah.
They get ideas from one another, they network with one another, but the idea of the program is really teaching them what to look for, you know, what to expect, how things are going to change. Where is the person that you're caring for? Where are they on that scale or that?
Because we know dementia, the Alzheimer's, it's a declining situation.
Exactly.
And it helps people understand where their person's at now.
Right.
And then what to expect.
When it declines.
Some little tools for their
Absolutely, to try to learn how to manage behaviors and really, we often say respite care. You know, we just encourage respite care for that caregiver so much because of what we know. We know that
give themselves permission to take a break.
Right. Well, and we know that caregivers of people with dementia often have high levels of stress and often are more sick in times than their caregiver because they're exhausted.
Right.
And I think there's a statistic that they often pass away before their person.
Which is very disturbing, but that's why I'm so glad we offer this class. Again, this class is called Creating Confident Caregivers. Kim is going to be the teacher. I teach it also, but the February class is going to be Kim.
Right.
It starts February 22nd. That's a Wednesday. The class will run from 1:30 to 3:30. Again, it is strictly for caregivers who are caregiving in the home a loved one with dementia. Again, please call if you're interested. You must pre-register for Creating Confident Caregivers. Thank you, Kim.
Is there another phone number for Creating Confident Caregivers, or can we?
We can bring them right in on the same number that you said. Why don't you say it one more time and we'll close.
All right, perfect. So again, our phone number is 231-733-3585.
And you can always dial 211 for the same information. Kim, thank you for being my guest today.
Thank you, Maggie.
Thank you.